Hey everyone! So I am stopping by at one of our recent mobile home sales completions, and I'm going to knock on the door of these new home buyers and make sure that they are satisfied. Come on, let's go. Hey! Welcome to your new home.
Yes, come on in.
So we'd put in a couple offers on different homes in the area, and just competing with other buyers was kind of a nightmare. We kept getting outbid, they kept paying in cash, and we're like, okay, we don't have $200,000 in cash to hand over for a house right off the bat. And so we started looking at other options. We looked at renting, we looked at mobile homes, and we kind of liked the idea of a mobile home because we're in a park, we're not, purely responsible for everything. We have some help on things. We still have a place of our own that we can do with what we want, where we're not limited by the restrictions of renting. We're not paying $1,500 a month for a rental property that ultimately will bring us no value in the future, that we're just spending our money for a place to live. So buying a mobile home gives us the option of having something that we can invest in, that we can resell in the future, and hopefully make a profit off of, because it's beautifully renovated. They did a fantastic job
really nice
on this renovation. I have never seen a mobile home that looked this nice.
All
our friends come in here and they're like, I can't even believe this is a mobile home. Look at the walls. They don't even look like paneling. They're all textured. They look so good. When we started looking at mobile homes, we talked to both of my grandparents that lived in a mobile home park, and so we talked to my dad about it because he knew a lot about parks and their regulations and how all of that works. And so he said a lot of times people who own mobile homes will just sell them for sale by owner, which is a much easier process for them, especially with mobile homes, and it makes the process a lot simpler, more streamlined, more efficient, so you're not dealing with agents, you don't have the costs of agents. So being for sale by owner is pretty much the way to go when you buy a mobile home.
And that definitely rang true too, because even just a little bit of house looking that we did felt like a lot more convoluted than this process was. So definitely rang true.
And my dad said to just start driving through parks and seeing if anything was available, if there were any for sale by owner signs. And so we started driving through the parks, and we drove through this one and saw the for sale by owner sign and called, and I think we got this place in 2 weeks?
I think it was 2 weeks, yeah. 2 or 3 weeks.
Maybe a month at the most from start to finish, looking for a house, looking for a mobile home,
right.
contacting Angela, buying it, going through title, getting the whole process done took maybe a month at the most, and it was very efficient.
Yeah, very efficient. It was awesome.
Really good.
Working with Walker Homes has been a really awesome process. I think when we came in, after we had been searching for so long, we came in kind of nervous. We came in a little bit reserved because there had been so much disappointment. But this the process that we went through was very smooth, very awesome. Angela is incredibly friendly and very sweet, and she I don't know the words. She's
very knowledgeable about what she does, and she makes the process very easy because she works with you and helps you and takes you through all the steps and lets you know what the best way to do things is, and it was great. Yeah.
And if we ever had any questions or anything, she was more than willing to talk about it. And if she was busy in the moment, she would get back to us very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. And so it helped us feel very secure in the buying process. So I think our first initial reaction, we had seen quite a few other mobile homes, and they weren't the best. Some were nice, but some were. I think the reaction was almost like, "Is this sellable?" Like it was crazy. But coming into this house, it was perfect. I don't think there was nothing that I could point out where I was like, "Oh, that's not done," or "That's not done." It was perfect and just ready to move in. And so seeing the flooring, the paint choices, and even how the outside was landscaped, it was beautifully done.
Definitely the details were very nice. And then as we went through and we were asking questions, she said, okay, well, these windows are brand new, they're double pane, they had the HVAC system reserviced, all the details. The outside, the inside looked great, and it had the structure to back it up. She really revamped everything that was in the house, as well as everything that you look at and you see on home designing shows, like, I love these countertops, I love these cabinets. Well, that's good. If the bones aren't there, it doesn't really matter, but the bones are there, and she did a great job restoring those as well. So all our friends walk in and they go, I can't even believe this isn't a regular house. I don't really believe this is a mobile home. It doesn't look like a mobile home. And it really doesn't feel like a mobile home. I walk in and I kind of forget that I'm living in a double wide. For sure.
Oh, yeah, it feels like a home. I almost like to play a game with my friends where I bring them up to the front, and then I want like this big dramatic reveal where I open the door quickly and then they can come in and see and then be like, oh my gosh,
and usually,
not what I was expecting.
Usually they first see the fireplace and they're like, is that real?
Yeah,
is that a real
that's
fireplace?
A fireplace? Yeah.
So, it's very nice. So we saw a lot of our friends renting, and I think the real eye-opening moment, we had friends who were a young married couple, and they moved into a one-bed, one-bath apartment, and they were paying $1,500 a month for a one-bed, one-bath apartment that they could barely move in, that they were already looking to get out of because, when they have kids or when they make life changes, if they even wanted a dog, they had to get a bigger space, and they had to be able to do that, and they were just wasting money on rent on a very small place, and they were really upset about it, and so we wanted to learn from their example and not go down that path and spend that money on rent for such a small space. So when we were looking, we started looking at mobile homes because we just didn't have the down payment for a regular home, and so we started looking at mobile homes as a good investment, and we're paying less than what our friends paid for their one-bed, one-bath apartment for an entire home that we'll be able to sell in the future and make the money back and make it so that we can have a down payment for, a bigger house someday. It's a great investment. It's really good equity building, and it's really good for us, and it's a good choice for us.
It doesn't feel like we're just kind of throwing money out the window at a place that's restrictive, and at a place where it's like doesn't meet our needs. So being able to have a home that meets all of our needs that will also pay us back in the future is amazing.
It's the benefits that come along with an apartment complex without having to pay ridiculous amounts in rent and still being able to own something that'll provide equity for us in the future. We have a pool accessible to us if we ever need laundry on site, if we need, a place for our friends to gather through a big party, we have that available just because we live in this park and it's a great community, and the park staff has been very helpful and very nice. And
I think a lot of times too, what I at least didn't realize is I wasn't fully aware that there was like nicer mobile home parks that was for like entire families, not just 55 and older. So that was something that was eye-opening to me too.
Yeah.